Done is I have suspended our community car program, which will allow me to bring 8 more officers back out onto the regular patrol, routine patrol, to help handle cases and regular calls for service. I've removed 3 of our officers that were transferred from patrol into the coroner's division, and I'm bringing them back out onto the street to help our officers out on the street. We have a deputy that was assigned to the HSA building, which is downtown. That deputy will be returned to the streets. We have 2 deputies from the courthouse that will be transferred from the courthouse back out on the streets, and we will backfill the courthouse with per diems, retired officers from all of a bunch of other departments and our own to come and work for us on a part-time basis, and we'll backfill with them. Some of the other things that we're looking at, I know we just upped the flights that we have at our airport here in Stockton, which is great for our community. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to keep a deputy there or if I'm going to need him back out on the streets to help staff the streets and fill all our beats so that we can answer our calls for service. We have 3 deputies that are assigned to the county hospital right now. Part of their duties are to work with a contract we have with Sacramento County, who brings their deputies, inmates down. The deputies bring their inmates down and get their medical services here at our county hospital. But that's quite a drain on us. We often have to backfill when we get more inmates than deputies that we have to pull people off the street. So we're notifying them today that we're going to be suspending that contract and putting those officers back out on the street that we can, and yet still leave a few there to cover our own inmates that arrive at the hospital there. So these are not things that I take lightly. The community car program is kind of a key program that years ago Baxter Dunn started, and it's an amazing program where we work closely with our community, as I said earlier. I used to be a community car officer when I first started back in the olden days, and so it's a great program. So once we can get our numbers back, if the Board of Supervisors would work with our deputies and get them a contract that is viable for them to be able to accept. Right now, they've, as I said, gone 4.5 years without a contract. Prior to that, the deputies gave up a raise. Back in the days when we had tough times here economically, our deputies, in good faith, along with other associations throughout our department, gave up their raises so that the county could stay fiscally sound. And now, 4.5 years later, they're still without a contract. They've been offered a contract that is a 3-year contract, that at the end of it, it'll be 7.5 years that our deputies have gone without a raise, and it's a net loss to them. And that doesn't even count their medical costs that they're paying for. So we need to make sure we can compete. Our deputies, the 10 that I have lost in the last 6 months since I've been sheriff, 10 of them have left. They just need to go down the street. They go over to Manteca PD and can make up to $2,500 more a month at Manteca PD. I don't blame those officers. You know, they have to do what's best for their families. And our officers aren't asking to be the highest paid in the county. It's the exact opposite.